Hello and welcome to my channel. In this series, Freebie Fridays, I will be taking a look at the beautiful and exciting free cut files that the paper issue shop has to offer. Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing a layout with you that I made for paper issues design team, and I'm using two cut files. This cut file is called Cloudy Circle, and I'm going to be using another cloud cut file in their library called Sky's the Limit. I'm going to be creating a diagonal band of color from the bottom left to the top right, and I've got my little ink pads on the right there. It's a black and a very dark blue and then a lighter blue. These ink pads are they're no-name brands. I have no idea what they are, if they are dye ink or pigment inks. Really, they are the cheapest things on earth, but they work really well. And you'll see that I keep on going back and I keep on blending and blending and blending. And this is a very artsy way of making a background, as you can see that you go over the color quite a bit. And I'm going to be bringing back the cut file over that blue parts so that I can see where I'd like some more blue and if I like what I'm seeing. So the blending continues, and yeah, if I see a spot I don't like, then I just rub some more ink over it. And this background didn't take me too long. I thought it would take me longer. It took me about 35 minutes to complete, but I really like the effect it creates. So this is what it's going to look like in the end with the cut files. That's the photo of my daughter I'm going to be using on the left hand side there. Now what I noticed is when I put the cut file over the background, the clouds on the bottom right hand corner of the cut file don't stand out as much as the others. So I'm going back and I'm going to be adding some more of the light blue ink to the bottom right hand corner, and you'll see there you go, the clouds stand out a bit more and you can see the blue through the empty cloud. And yeah, that's what I was going for, just for that white, the stark whiteness of the cut file to contrast nicely with the dark blue background. And there you go. And there's the photo. There's lots of white space on the photo of my daughter. And I will be cutting the photo in the shape, or the top parts of the photo in the shape of a cloud. And I'm lightly tracing one of the clouds I'll be using into my photo. And I'm just going to be cutting the top part of the cloud there. And I've said this quite a few times before, that if you have white space on your photo or an open space on your photo, it's a good idea to add something to that white space. It brings interest to your layout, and it also draws the eye to the photo. If you have a very busy layout and you add something to the photo, an embellishment or some writing, I've seen some other scrapbookers type onto the photo, and that is a really good way of drawing your photo into your layout. And the way I did this, obviously, is I made my photo one of the clouds because of all the white space on the photo. I decided that I wanted that big open cloud on the left hand side of the photo to remain empty. I didn't want the photo to be seen behind that cloud because I really liked the blue coming through coming through the cloud there. So I'm just going to see what clouds I want to put in there. I felt that it needed another cloud over there, and you'll see that I'm going to be cutting that out as well so that the empty cloud remains empty and you can see the blue through that. There's nothing much really to this layout. I just made the background. I did cut the cut files out on my silhouette, and I added little bits of embellishments. Really, this was a very simple layout to make, and it's fun to see how a layout will turn out if you've limited yourself to a certain amount of embellishments and things. So here I'm coming in with the Heidi Swap Color Shine. It's called, I think it's called Tinsel. Yeah, it's called Tinsel, and I'm just going to be adding some splatters to the center of the background there in the dark bits so that it looks like a constellation moving over the page. And I've got some really cheap white acrylic paint there that I'm going to be watering down a bit, just also to add some white splatters. And just adding some paint over there, thinning it out a bit and splattering it over the page. That adds a little bit more depth as the white stands out a little bit more than the Heidi Swap Color Shine Tinsel color. The tinsel has a little bit of a shimmer to it, so that also adds some interest. You can see that I've covered my photo because I don't want any of the Heidi Swap or the acrylic paint to get onto my photo. So I'm sticking things down now. Or I'm deciding where they're going to go. I am going to do a whole lot of stitching on the layout, and you'll see now that I'm just poking some holes where I'd like to do the stitching. I end up doing the stitching along the edges of the solid clouds. I'm not going to be stitching the edges of the empty clouds. They're just too flimsy, they'll fall apart. And I'm also going to be stitching on the circles just to give them some extra texture and pop. So I'm basically using plain embroidery thread. I've split the embroidery thread. I'm just using 3 strands. Now if you want more texture to your page and if you want a bulkier look, you can always do all 6 strands. And there you go. There you'll see that I'm just showing you how I've stitched there. Now I ended up fussy cutting one of the Chasing Dreams papers there with the butterflies on. It's called Monarca, if that's how you say it. I also wanted to bring in some of that pink paisley on the right there. I've got no idea what collection it's from. I've forgotten. But yeah, I don't end up using those flowers. I think they're too lifelike, and I wanted something more whimsical and dreamy for this layout. So I'm going to be popping some of the, well actually all of the clouds up on some foam squares. I'm not going to be putting any adhesive behind the circle bits of the cut file. They're just going to be anchored to the page by the clouds that I'm popping up on some foam squares. And it works quite well. So they've already got enough dimension with the thread at the back of the circles popping them up, so they'll be fine. That dream cloud is from the cut file Sky's the Limit, and you'll also find that in the Paper Issues shop. All these cut files are for free, so that's one of the wonderful things about the Paper Issues shop, is that they've got hundreds and hundreds of free cut files. So if you're not familiar with them, it's an online shop, and they also have a awesome Facebook community and if you belong to the Facebook group, then you'll see all the fabulous challenges that come up every week and every month, and you can take part in all the challenges, and you can also win some lovely gifts and some lovely prizes on their Facebook friends and family group. So yeah, so here I'm just I'm popping up that dream cloud there. I had to cut the foam squares in half. That was quite tedious, but I didn't want any of that cut file to be sagging or yeah. There you'll see I'm just going to be sticking that on right there. I wanted it on the same level as all the other clouds, so I added a lot of little half-cut foam adhesives, square foam adhesives. I'm going to be putting some of those beautiful butterflies from the Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams as well up there, and that balances out the larger cluster on the bottom left-hand corner of the layout. Just brings in some more of the pink at the top there. So I'm folding up the wings to give the page more dimension, and it adds to the whimsy of the page, so that the butterflies are flying into dreamland. And here I'm bringing in some of my sequins from my stash, and I was all over the place at this stage. I was trying to put stars inside the circles of the cut files, and I tried to put pink sequins in there to bring in some more pink, and nothing was really working for me. So I just put added some of that dark blue sequence, and it worked, because I just added the sequence to the really dark center of the background there, and it just added some more sparkle and some added dimension. I also added, you'll see on the left there, I'm pointing to the little rhinestones I added as well. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.